Welcome to Bipoc Happy Hour. It is Wednesday, Hump Day. I sound like Uncle Ray. Hey, I'm Bobby. That's my sister Sina and my brother Dennis. We out here just chilling, trying to see what's up with you all today. Uncle Ray, we miss you. Hope we see you soon. You know, I'm not a commentator. I'm a cook.
So get to cooking.
How you doing? Yes, I'm ready to cook because it's winter. This is the time to be in the kitchen making stews and beans and fresh bread and all of that.
Okay, so if you can't do that, how do you get stuff like that done? I can't make bread. I cannot make. I
I'll
can
be
make.
honest
You
with
know,
you, I'm not like saying I'm one the bread maker. No. I'm learning at the moment. The bread I'm making at the moment is good for like soups and stuff. It's not sliced bread at this yet, but I'm getting there. You feel what I'm saying? It's a practicing. So, I done made bread earlier this week. I'm gonna try to make some tomorrow. As long as I keep practicing, I know I'm gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? That's not no thing. It's just that I got to continue on to figure it out. It's like driving the car, which I didn't get down yet, but you got to continue to practice.
I've always told if you couldn't fry it, you can buy it. It's the same thing.
But see, buying it, I've realized that you get it's too much involved that's in it. You know what I mean? You got too many chemicals and all that shenanigans. It's just too much.
I don't understand. Everything I have to have chemicals in it to preserve it.
But they got
No, it don't.
they got
No, it
So
don't.
how do you suggest we preserve food these days if we don't have some kind of something to keep it on the shelf? I went to this all natural bread. Now I love bread. Now I know sometimes bread is on the refrigerator for a long time, before you eat it because we get it for a week. In a day or two, that bread would have a mold on it because it's on top of the refrigerator. I'm not used to it. It says all natural. Now my other bread I get from other places, I stay a whole week. What's the difference?
Chemicals.
See, we need those chemicals.
No,
Preservatives.
we do not. See, you need that
See,
bread that you was eating and molded in 2 days. That's just like the vegetables you eat. Have you ever noticed when we was younger, if mama put a banana on the thing, it'd be brown right in a day or two. You feel what I'm
Mm.
saying? Now you put a banana on your counter, it may last a week before it brown. I told you about this experiment I did. We had a cabbage in our refrigerator for like 2 months, and you were still able to cut it up and use it. It wasn't molded on the inside or anything. I bought an organic cabbage. It was gone within a week.
They're selling us dead food
Yo,
that are
it,
vegetables. Like, wait a minute,
yeah,
what?
no, the preservatives Dennis keep talking about.
What?
The preservatives Dennis keep talking about. That's what he want.
but I don't know what else to do because okay,
Grow your own. It's
I
it's
can't
a,
grow bread, Bobby.
you can make it.
They don't
And
sell half a loaf.
oh, you can grow bread. Just don't get technical because it's vegans out here. You can grow bread.
How?
You can make bread. Some oats
You know what? Maybe if they make a half a loaf of bread, that'd be better.
of what?
A
Of
bread.
preservative.
Instead of the big long bread to get that, because for us single people who don't have families, have to take the whole loaf home, and that's why it goes green. Maybe get a half a
Go
loaf.
to a bakery. Some of the bakeries do have like half loaves. I think like French Meadow.
And then
Um,
it's fresh.
yeah, and you can get a smaller loaf. You don't have to get the big one. It's just the stores we go to, they only sell the big ones. They don't be selling those small ones like that. Or only in the ride that, a lot of people don't eat.
I'm talking about everyday bread. I don't know about the other stuff. I
You can
want
get
some every.
everyday bread from the bakery, sir.
Right.
And when you
It
go
is.
to when you
It's
go to
sliced
Hy-Vee,
bread.
yeah, when you go to Hy-Vee and Cubs, they have a bakery that makes fresh bread. I don't know about Cubs, but I know about Hy-Vee and Hy-Vee, you know, Lunds, but Hy-Vee and Up. You know what I'm saying, Whole Foods, different things like that. You go to their bakery, you can get different breads, and it's fresh. It's made that same day, early that morning, or at least a day old. You don't have to worry about it's been sitting there for on the shelf and it can last for 2 more weeks. You don't have to worry about that. You
But if
know
you
it's
come home and put the bread in the freezer and take a couple pieces at a time, it
all
lasts
right,
longer
Grandma.
too.
All right, Grandma.
Why I gotta be grandma?
No, because
That's
my mama used to do that. My mother had 9 boys, and she used to get a bunch of bread. This is her Sunday routine. First, she get a bunch of bread. She put it in the freezer and leave a couple out. But Sunday dinner, that's why I always cook on Sundays. She makes 3 meats, like a ham, a turkey, and maybe a roast beef or something like that. Why? So her all these boys can slice on it during the week, make sandwiches, do whatever you choose to. And we all had days of cooking. So only time she had to cook was Sunday. We cooked every other day. So we can make meals from out this ham, this turkey, and whatever, and be good. So yeah, I believe in freezing bread. That's what my mom did. And it was
and you
easy
freeze milk too.
and milk. Yeah, and cow pus. Yep. Yeah, we all froze cow pus.
I didn't. See, I don't like milk that's frozen. That's just nasty.
Cow blood. Yep.
Besides that, I'm saying, how do you freeze milk for later?
I don't know. I don't drink milk as often.
But as kids, I seen my grandmother put milk in the freezer when it was on sale.
And you drank it the next month when she
We
yeah,
had no,
Still
Bobby,
here,
we had no choice.
but you're still here.
still here.
I'm just saying.
Is the truth. Our
I,
grandma, but see, that's why people say if something happened, what would we do? We would kick into survival mode because our grandparents and our parents taught us certain things and certain things we just didn't have. You feel what I'm saying? You remember back in the day when your neighbor's lights went out? What we do? She went in and got a surge and she ran that light all the way over to her neighbor's house and we plugged it in. You feel what I'm saying? We make it work. Oh, we had a blackout. What we do? Oh, it's a big cookout. Or we, my mother used to have jugs of water in the freezer. So when it did,
yes, that's so true, Bobby.
yeah. So
And
when
she
it
sit
did,
there and let them melt on the counter and get
yeah.
all the water running out down
So
the counter.
so when it did, we had a blackout. We didn't have to worry about it. But yeah, survival mode would kick in. We would kick in. We are survivors. We've been doing this for over 500 years. Being beat. You know, we made their food, the scraps that they gave us, taste better than the food that they was eating. Then you tell us we ain't good. You understand what I'm saying? Well, we was making their food, so they was eating some good shit. So they was eating
Right.
some real stuff. We was making their food, so they was eating food. They should have been used to seasoning.
I don't know how the whole thing works. You know,
But you know, first season was for rich folks. Did you know that spices and stuff like that was only for the rich? When they realized we was using it, you know what I'm saying? They didn't like it. They stopped using spices. Then they just use salt and pepper. Spices is like below. It's like yeah. That's why a lot of folks don't know about spices. That do the research on it.
I took it from a chef.
No, I had heard that. I didn't know that. For no one taught me that one.
But I can believe that because you have to import spices from different places. I know still today, saffron is one of the highest sought after cuisine or what do you call that topping that they look for? The sapphire plant. So I mean, or one of those, what they call it, the ugly thing that dogs look for? The truffle.
Yes.
You
Now
know,
that's a lot of money.
Right, for something that's supposed to be trash.
And mold.
Right, that grows. I don't know how they get it, but I mean, I don't know where it comes
But
from.
no, it's not supposed to be trash. That's what they taught us it's supposed to be. You understand what I'm saying? They taught us certain dandelions was weeds and all this other stuff. And things that's in our yard and garden and stuff like that, it's actually beneficial to us. You know what I'm saying? They was telling us, oh, use ground up and clean the shit. Now you trying to kill weeds and be killing yourself at the same damn time. Where the weeds that you're supposed to be killing ain't good for you, is good for you. I gotta give me some more black seed oil. Now we're talking about all this and that. Maybe
So
remember.
you make it seem like that the pesticides eat the pest away, and all the other things that we don't want is bad for the plants.
Say it again.
You said the pesticides and all the stuff we're using for plants are bad for the plants,
Yes, it's bad for you.
but you rinse it off.
No. It's in when you eat a fish, you eat everything that the fish done had, the worms, whatever else they not ate. Same way with vegetables. What you put in that ground, the nutrients whatever's in that dirt is what's becoming into that vegetable. So if they squirting it with ammonia, it's gonna be ammonia in that vegetable. And it won't be good for you.
I'm, everything is grown on the same land that we all live in on. All the water that's tainted, everything. Where do you find someplace that's supreme that you can grow something that's not tainted?
Idaho. And I heard that personally. And I heard if you just take your land and don't use it for 2 years, it may work. You may turn it into organic. I didn't know
What do
that.
you? Okay, the water you use got fluoride and all the pesticides, metals, steel, everything you don't want. I mean, where do you get this stuff from on the planet that is not tainted? Where does it come from?
Well, a lot of places that deal with water that's out in the rural areas during spring or well, they're not using what they give us in the city. They're not using that. They're using more like natural stuff.
Well, where does that natural stuff come from?
From your Lord and Savior.
Why you gotta play with me like this? I be getting serious and you just.
I was
I'm
gonna say, since
serious.
I mean, my land, I ain't touched it. It's been sitting there now, so it could probably be organic.
Come on, the
I
one.
ain't put nothing but leaves on it. That area that's in the back that I said
Mm-hmm.
somebody can grow some plants on it and do something
I'll
there.
come over there and till that joint up next year. Get it prepared. Sure will. Put some
So
compost.
we would have to filter our water, till our own land, don't put no chemicals, no fertilizer, no pesticides, no nothing. Expect stuff to grow without GMOs, without any genetic seeds, just natural everything. Is it even possible in this world anymore?
Not really.
Right? Because what is it, Monsanto? Monsanto, what are they called? They are the largest seed producer, and everything that they're making has no seeds, so it's harder for you to take seeds and like go and reproduce things, and you have to like buy from these people.
But even we were talking about going to a dollar store and getting those dollar seeds, you know, those packages are also regulated by some company who sell those seeds that you're going to get them from in their genetic modified because they reproduce over and over and over again.
So
You
what
got to
you
go to
do
your
is,
great great grandmama and get them seeds.
and then what you do is the food that you eat, and you know that it's organic and not chemically enhanced. You take the seeds from out of them. Like for instance, I will go buy like some green peppers, and I would take the seeds from out of those and save them for next year. You know what I'm saying? You can do plenty of things like that. You can take a bottom of a lettuce and start it all over again just by putting it in some water, alkaline water or spring water. Did you know there's a spring, like 16 miles away from here, Eden Prairie, that you can get your own fresh water and you don't have to drink the water from out the sink? It's literally natural water. You can take jugs, 5-gallon jugs, and fill it on up and take it home and don't have to drink all the metals and stuff.
What was that city called?
Is in Eden Prairie. Frederick Miller Spring. That's what it's called. Frederick Miller Spring.
So do you have to filter or heat the water up to drink it? Is it safe already? How does that work?
If that's what you feel that you want to do it. You can
It's
put it
naturally spring fed. That's why it's pure and clean. People come from all around to get that water.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to boil it or nothing.
No.
You can drink it straight from out the spring.
Wow. And the government let that happen.
It's free. Well, is it? I don't know. They may shut that down. I don't know. So
Because most water is regulated, or H2O, or whatever you want to call that product they got, is regulated where it comes from. It has to be filtered before you can bottle it, has to have certain alkalines or blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to figure out, like, if you go up to the spring and put your hand in there and drink it, is that on you?
Dennis, people do this all over the country when they have natural springs on their land. That only really applies to people who are living in the urban area and get all their food from the supermarket, get all their food from or the water from the city tap. But out in the country, people tap their springs all the time and drink right from them.
and they actually like people that homeschool, like
And it's hard for me to fathom with no filter system. What did it go through? Because the city got a filter system. Of all my life, I've looked at those things of like, even my mom had a filter on her faucet at home or Brita. So when I think about all water that we always have, there's always some kind of way been filtered through something. How could you not filter that water?
But those natural springs are coming straight from the ground, so they're being filtered by the ground. The rock, the sediment, the clay, that filters the water.
All I'm
Okay.
gonna say is I'm a Gen Xer and I drank water from the water hose,
me
from the
too.
faucet in the wall, on the building. I'm still here.
Me too. And that water from the water hose be the best water ever.
And it was most dangerous.
I know. But like she said, we Gen Xers. That's what we did.
My mom knew
Like
about
these kids don't know
PV.
about hello, these kids don't even know about opening up a fire hydrant and playing in it. Things like that. I had fun.
At least you let the water run when you took out the hose.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that water that sits in the hose, that PVC pipe, all that plastic smelting, you just drink, you can even taste it. When you drink that shit, it tastes just like the hose. You should be drinking that stuff. That was toxic. And then the hose got heated up outside and then cooled and heated. Jesus. Surprised y'all ain't dead.
That's what I'm saying. We still here.
Look at our skin. It made it clear. How you do?
Oh man, that's so sad. I
We
When
had
we lived
fun when we
in
was
Vincennes, I
young.
used to bring water from my house back to Vincennes because it came from a natural spring. So I would bring gallons of water every time I went home.
Huh. Go figure. Never in my born days. The only time I had to do that when I went to Vegas to see my mom, she had water in the trunk. I was just like blown away with that whole concept. Baby, we had to buy this from the store. It was filtered twice and blah, blah, blah. Because you can't drink water in Vegas. So we carried around 5-gallon, mind you, in the trunk. So I guess that's been in the desert. No comment. Is it that uncomfortable silence? Did we lose Bobby too?
No, we're trying to just found out my grandfather passed. Written grandfather passed. So that was
Sorry.
Florida.
Sorry to hear that, Bobby.
So what were we talking about? I'm sorry.
I was just trying to figure out. What was that guy's name? Because he was 73 from the Gap Band. I can't think of his name. Oh, what was his name?
Charlie Wilson.
Was that
Wilson.
it?
You talking about Charlie Wilson? Oh, God bless her. Which one?
The Gap Band.
Which one? They didn't say who, the co-founder. Which one is it?
Ronnie Wilson.
Ronnie. Okay. Wasn't they all brothers?
That's what I heard, but then
Charlie,
I thought this
Ron,
was
and Robert.
That's sad.
at 73. I don't know, that's life expectancy. I don't know how much more we want out of life. When I grow up, what was in the news today?
They approved the vaccine for the children.
What do you think about that?
I'm glad.
What does that make you glad?
I'm getting my child vaccinated. I'm glad. My child is high risk and he has asthma, and I just want to make sure he is protected, so that he can go back to not wearing 2 masks and the face shield, maybe just 1 mask.
Five. Go ahead.
I was just chuckling at sign as 1 mask.
I don't know, from 5 to 11 years old. And they give them $200 to get vaccinated. Do you think that's okay?
What? I didn't hear that. Putting it in.
What?
It's $200. That's for him. He the one got the shot. Shit.
Right.
Early Christmas.
Yeah, with $200 for getting a shot, yeah. Some places even giving 50, to the parents for kids getting their shot. I don't know. Is that like a bribe?
Incentive.
It's incentive. I
How is that fair?
don't know. You do it all the time, don't you? We've been doing this for HIV for forever. Come get your test. We'll give you a gift card.
Isn't that important?
Sure, because people get complacent.
Do you think if they gave like screening tests like that for all the things you need, like rectal cancer or all the screenings, if they gave people money for that they would find more people ahead of time?
Probably.
Yeah, they should incentivize that. It makes sense. I mean, I'm sure it's, cheaper to treat something that you may find or discover early in the process or phase of the disease than it is later. And that little incentive of like $50 to take the test, that's nothing compared to like the cost of, ongoing cancer treatments and radiation and stuff. So I say, yeah, they used to. I thought they did it like for mammograms and stuff.
Right. If they did that for men, like prostate cancer or something like that, you think more men or black men would be try to be aware of their prostate cancer?
I don't know. I'm not a man.
I agree, but I'm just saying, it was brought to my attention they're going to do a survey for men, and they wanted to pay me $345 to talk about prostate cancer. And I was asking the question, like, I wouldn't think about prostate cancer unless something was bothering me as a black man. Would I get a pre-test? If somebody told me I needed one, but would I just go in arbitrarily to do that? Is that, something that we need to do more of? Because people are always told to check their breasts, for cancer and stuff like that. Is that something that, we should think about more when we think about healthcare or things that people can and cannot do, with their healthcare? Like, get that test, do something for yourself, incentivize them in a way. If we don't have money, like, it's an issue with cancer and black men. What do you do to make them go get screened for something that is a silent killer? Even like high blood pressure. How do you make us go to the doctor and like get it checked out? Because some people didn't even know I had diabetes or whatever it is. How do you get us to go and get those things checked out before it gets a problem?
Well, I think personally that the healthcare industry, like policing and other systems, have to do some major changes for people to have a trust in them. And I think healthcare has done some of those, but I mean, I think maybe in the last 3 or 4 years is the first time I've really seen Black people, trans people, queer people focused in on an HIV prevention message. And that was a PrEP message. And I mean, how long we've been dealing with HIV. So that doesn't mean that there haven't been others, but like this commercial is pretty prevalent. And so I think we don't often see ourselves portrayed as taking care of our health. And I think so part of that's media and marketing. And I think the other thing that goes along with that is that a lot of us have a comprehensive knowledge of the ways in which healthcare systems have used us. We've been lab tapped rats and experimented on and denied healthcare in all kinds of ways. And often, even now, currently, are told, "Oh, you'll be all right. There's nothing wrong. Go ahead and go home."
So do y'all know what yesterday was? Do y'all know what happened?
Yesterday. Yes, I know, because I've been out there and put my vote in. I rocked the vote.
What happened?
We got rent control. Yeah. I remember working on that back in 2010. And there was people working on it way before that too. But like to have these policies passed, I think is so dope.
Is that for all of Minnesota or?
No, it's Minneapolis and St. Paul. The city
But
based.
see, that's what I'm used to in DC. Rent control. You can't just jump up $100, $300 just because, or some people do more just because you feel like it. You feel what I'm saying? So that's dope. That's real dope.
And then, Mayor Carter was reelected. Yay. Shout out to our mayor. Our mayor's still Black.
Yeah, Mayor Carter did a great job. No, hands down, no no, not even a slightest threat of having his seat disrupted.
And
Any
he has
mayor,
done a great job. His programs around like testing out basic income, like they are, there's a certain amount of families they are giving a certain, certain amount of money to every month, testing out Andrew Yang's idea of this universal basic income. They're also like helping people. I mean, the city's doing a lot more stuff than I've been in St. Paul since '95, and I've not seen our city do sort of this many things for community. We got a reparations commission now that's like looking at, what the city can do, and starting with repairing, what happened in Rondo. I mean, I don't know. I don't think that if our mayor wasn't Melvin, some of that would not have happened.
I agree. I wish I guess Fry's our mayor still. I wish that, he would really learn some lessons from Carter. Because I think the way that he's led that city over the last 4 years has been really incredible. Like on the ground, really engaged in community and not this kind of blowing smoke up the butt and, having meetings, shaking hands of brown people, but not acting in the manner on their behalf. And I think Carter has, really showed not only the Twin Cities, but, nationally, people are looking at his style. And I think that even though I don't live in St. Paul, I feel really proud of the fact that that city has done a great job in electing a mayor, keeping a mayor, and actually supporting him.
Except for the people that was mad about the fireworks.
That's petty.
Very petty.
A shout out to Andrea Jenkins for winning again.
congratulations.
I know we lost one seat over North, maybe two. I'm not quite sure yet. They're still contesting the fifth ward when I think with Jeremy in it. Huh?
Really?
The first round, I don't think you got 50%.
No, yeah, 30-something%.
Yeah, so they got to go to the second round or whatever
Yeah.
they're gonna do that. They rank voting thing, but
Mm-hmm.
I know the eighth. What is it? Eighth one was one, but I don't think they had a person to run against Andrea.
No, Andrea had a Republican. I read that.
Yeah, some dude named Bob.
Yeah.
So they might make her president of the council this year.
Hopefully.
Right.
Right. I know what's name lost his bid for what is it, the fourth ward? What is he in?
Yeah,
Philippe.
Philippe, fourth
Yeah.
ward. Sad. I thought Philippe did some great things over in his ward. And I know he had a lot of opposition because he did try to move some things.
Right. I mean, that was very. I think for him to even get in there, being all the things we are, the world has changed and allowed two transgender runs at the same time. So that was, I mean, definitely on his behalf was a good thing. He broke the mold with a glass ceiling or whatever that is.
Yeah, and I
Bobby.
really like the fact that Philippe really engaged with the barbershop and other Black businesses in a really strong way. Like I thought he did a really great job, especially in his first round. At first, I don't really know what happened towards the end because I was really concentrated in the South area, but I think he did a good run, and I think you're right, Dennis. We had a great example for the rest of the country having two transgender folks on our city council.
Yes, that's legendary. I mean, I think I'm talking about this for years. And I mean, I think that this is like groundbreaking for us in Minnesota, even though, we ain't there yet, but it's a definitely start.
And I appreciate and thank him for, his service, even though I was supporting somebody running against him in his ward. Um, but, shout out to, and not this time around, I'm talking about in 2017, the original.
And
Um,
how do we really support Melvin Carter more, even from this side of the river? Even by showing support, maybe by throwing fundraiser parties or whatever, just to say how much we appreciate him.
just that, host a fundraiser. Anybody can host a fundraiser.
Right. We should do something like that, because I mean, he's doing such a good job and example. I mean, we should here in Minnesota, like, listen, dude, we got your back.
And once he's done being mayor and he goes on to his next adventure, support that too. Because this is what I'm saying about what I love about Melvin. It's because he's an organizer. I mean, the man was an organizer in the community for a minute before he became a city council person. It's a trainer, you know what I'm saying, and in doing a lot of community organizing, community building work, and so it's dope to see how he's taken the city and is using that infrastructure to sort of continue that process. He ain't gonna make everybody happy, and he didn't before when he was city council person, but you know, he's done, I think, a fantastic job. And so again, just shout out to Mayor Melvin Carter.
You can't really please all the people all the time. And if you do, then you probably standing in the middle of the road.
If you don't stand for something,
Yeah, fall for anything.
Bobby, where you go?
I'm here.
I need to talk about this bake off. I need some cookies, cakes, and you know what? Somebody told me. Hold on. Somebody told me the other day that I was stupid on how I talked about the other day. Those things that don't have ice in them are called muffins. And if I didn't know that, I was stupid. Because all cupcakes don't have frosting on the top.
It doesn't.
Those are muffins.
But yes, you can put any entry out there you would like, cakes, cookies. Make sure you have it in on by November the 20th. We're about to put the date out there real soon. We're gonna have the date out there with the new flyer.
So do you have to use certain ingredients? Does the pie have to cut in a certain salad?
Hey,
How many pieces in the pie?
do what you do best. You feel what I'm saying? If you make a gluten-free cake, I would eat it. If you make a vegan cake, I would eat it. People,
vegan means no eggs, no flour, no sugar. What you got?
No, it does not mean none of that. That's the perception people get. Educate yourself. The same way we used to go on people about not being educated with HIV. We need to educate ourselves about veganism because that's not what it is.
You use honey and substitute shit.
No, they still use sugar.
Oh.
They still use, you know what I'm saying? They just use different types of flour.
Yeah, never sugar.
What?
Is that never sugar? The stuff that Michael Jackson gave the kids.
You silly.
No, I don't understand. My mom used to make those kind of cakes with raw sugar and try to make lemonade with raw sugar. That shit don't work. I'm sorry. I need the pure cane white sugar for my Kool-Aid.
I like that sugar in the raw. I like it in my coffee. It does a little sweetening.
In coffee where you can't see it's brown, okay. But in my Kool-Aid, no.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess.
I'm just saying, that stuff was disgusting. But
right. Because orange and brown make dirty brown.
You silly. I know, it's just some things cannot be substituted. I don't care what you say,
You
it's
think
like
you would never know the difference.
Oh, Bobby, hush.
I'm being honest with you. You would never know the difference.
Bobby, you can't sell me because my grandmother did her pies and she pressed them in lard. And I tell you right now, my mama ain't never made a pie as good as my grandmother's in her life. And I love you, mom, to death. Don't get me wrong. But grandmother used that lard, and that made all the difference in the world. Now you can fight me, we can argue about this, but and when she fried a chicken in lard, I don't care what nobody say.
I was finna say, ain't nothing like some fried chicken and some Crisco. I'm just saying.
Yeah, or some
I
lard.
hate this
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
So do y'all use a Crisco with the butter flavoring?
No.
Oh, see, my mom tried to use that for her pies to substitute for the lard, but that lard you can't substitute for it. You know, even in my grandmother's green beans, she put a piece of fat in there and a teaspoon of lard. Those green beans break down. I ain't had no green beans like that, so ain't nothing you can do without the pig.
Some
Ain't no
bacon grease in the back of the refrigerator.
ooh. You can drink that stuff down for like a liquid, and it's so good.
What?
The bacon grease.
Mm, I don't know about drinking it, but I will use it.
Right, to put in everything you eat.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
especially with some cabbage. You fry your cabbage with it, or I even like it in my grits. To be honest with you, bacon grease and grits with some chopped ham. Oh, child, that's right.
it gives you that flavor.
Cabbage, use it in the Brussels
Yeah,
sprouts.
man. Every you can fry the chicken. You can see a chicken with it.
Do y'all get the big red bucket of lard?
The big red bucket. I thought that sound like chitlins. They don't sound like lard.
No, they got this bucket of chitlins that's frozen. You get the same kind of bucket with lard in it. It's pure lard. My grandma used to get it. You just take a whole spoonful of it and do whatever you want to do with it. You can even wease yourself down with it, she said.
Mine was in a white bucket.
Oh,
Mine was in a white bucket.
Grease
I
your
guess
knees with that stuff.
you're what?
Grease your knees. Get your
Yes.
elbow.
Or your ankles, she said.
Your feet. You can do your feet with it.
Yeah, your ankles. She said they're good on the ankles.
Good on everything.
Yes.
What the lady said on the help. You can do your head press and comb with it. Do your husband's feet.
I think my edges need done.
But yeah,
Yes.
lard and Crisco was that was like the holy grail in every black home. I
Well, my
believe.
mama used blue magic. I don't know what you.
And I'm talking about as far as food. That was like the holy grail in every black home. Lard and Crisco. Because you was making biscuits. They was making biscuits.
Oh, those biscuits were louder than other. Because my grandmother had that pastry thing where she pressed the lard into the butter and the butter inside the biscuits.
Oh, now we talk about the butter in the hot water cornbread, or she used to use the bacon grease. Child. Mm, 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 mm. Yes,
Yeah.
with the hot water cornbread, man.
Can we sue them for high blood pressure or diabetes?
Take some black seed oil. I ain't a doctor or anything, but you ask your doctor about it.
We knew that stuff wasn't good for us. I need to share this because I want to talk about this again. Our annual gala at the end of the year. Bobby, you
How you
again.
doing?
How you doing?
What? What you talking about? What I'm wearing? I'm
How
still.
much? If they want about individual tickets, if they want to, how does this whole thing work?
Oh, if you want to buy individual tickets, we will be posted. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite.
When? When is the Eventbrite thing gonna start?
It will be up by Friday.
Okay. December 18th. Mark
Yeah.
your calendars. Marriott, what is it? The Marriott Hotel?
The Marriott Hotel in Brooklyn Park.
Hell, you can get the bus out there almost. Spend the night, get your Uber.
Mm-hmm. Have a good time. Eat some food, dance, celebrate with us. We here to celebrate our own. That's what we're here to do this year. We're celebrating our own, also raising funds for the POC organization.
I'm gonna reserve my room tomorrow too.
How you doing?
So because I'm gonna get drunk and I want to go home.
You gonna get drunk?
I don't drink, but I want to get drunk that night. It's the first one.
And it's right by your birthday.
It's actually, yeah.
My birthday's on the 14th, so definitely be a good thing to. If I can stay there and I have to drive home, I'll get drunk and maybe wear my suit.
What's drunk to you? One champagne.
Wait, which suit you gonna wear?
My rainbow suit.
Oh snap!
Okay, I can go and change it if I had a hotel room there. Right?
Get into your lounge wear.
Right.
10th floor park.
It's evening wear. But I really want this. Listen, our goal is to raise funds for this organization. Through this, it's our first one. I want to raise $25,000 at least. With the thing of basically raising 50, if we get, we already have some sponsors that's already talking about working with us. We hope everybody else will think about showing up or coming or getting a ticket or even just donating to POC Pride in some shape, form, or fashion. Right?
That's right. If I'm with the organization and I want to get a table for my group, can I do that?
Yeah.
Listen, I think all of us, on the board would be glad to lead you to someone who can get you a table for that particular night. I think I did the math. We charge $150 a ticket. If you get a table of 8, you'll save $25 per ticket by getting the whole table. So get together with your family and friends, 8 of y'all, and come out, get a table. That's cheaper. But we encourage people just to show up, obviously with a ticket. We will be doing COVID testing that day. Wear your mask.
Mm-hmm. And we also will have sanitation stations, because that's the main thing we have to worry about is our health. Even though we're raising funds, we do want to see you next year and the year after. So make sure you wear your mask. And also, we are looking for vendors. If you're vendors, please contact someone on the board and they will direct you to the right person. Okay? So if you're a vendor, call us. Make some extra coin.
I have a question today because I just found out that you can't get in certain venues now if you haven't been vaccinated.
Well, you can't get in the state.
Huh?
That's true.
You can't
What
get
happened?
In
To go see Dave Chappelle, and on Sunday, and I have to show my vaccination card or bring a negative COVID test result that was taken within the last 48 hours. They're also going to be testing people at the Target Center. And you cannot get in if you're not vaccinated or coming with this negative test. They won't let you in the venue.
Well, okay, now that they're saying that, because we need to know moving forward, if this is going to be the case, if we throw something at some restaurant or a hotel now, because are people going to have to be vaccinated if by then mandated? If they don't vaccinate, they can't come in if they pay for a ticket already.
Well, that only depends on the restaurant. Like no shirt, no shoes, no service. It depends on the business itself. Because like she said, some places it's not everywhere.
No, because what I'm finding out, the policies is changing every day towards that sort of mandate that everybody be vaccinated, period. I'm saying moving forward with them arguing about this, are they going to start to make us do this in the future? Maybe not now, but look in December Is it gonna be a mandatory thing? You can't come inside without your vaccination card or get vaccinated or having proof of
They already do.
that.
You
What do
can't
you
go
mean?
to school if if you don't have XYZ vaccine. Like it's sort of already there. Even in the military, I think you can't serve, and then they give you even extra vaccines that normal, like no, not normal, but like people out of the military don't get. So
Yeah.
So they started to use that as a mandate to mandate people now, because if you that's like almost having a mandate saying if you don't have this, you can't get into nothing, not even the grocery store anymore. So now it's becoming a mandate to take the shot. And is that something that we have to be aware of? Now, if you want to come to our festival, anything that we give, we're gonna need the same thing, or are we taking the risk?
If that's the law, is that's the law and that's the policy, we will follow the law.
Okay, now I'm not necessarily saying it's a law or it's a policy, but if people can start suing us, we come to our event and they got COVID, and we supposed to prevent them by not letting them there or having that they don't have their card or something, is the person who throwing the event liable still?
Say it again.
I don't want to be liable in our events in the future if we can adopt that policy, or if they should adopt that policy about you got to get vaccinated to be at any of our events. Do we do that?
Do we do the
I
same
think
thing?
you give the option,
And they can sign a waiver.
but they should come with the negative COVID test. Like
And so that
if
means
you're
you
not
have to.
vaccinated, the least thing you could do is go 3 days before to the Walgreens and get your free COVID test to prove that you ain't got COVID coming up in this event. And after you get the test, sit your ass still for a minute so you don't catch it in between, getting your test results before
So
you
you
come
saying
to
they got to
our
come and do
event.
the test in front of us now?
No, I'm saying they can get tested at the Walgreens and sit and chill for the 2 days before wherever. Or make sure they mask up if they're going out. I mean, I do
And they can
think
do
that
same day
I don't
testing.
mind the policy. I appreciate what Dave Chappelle's doing. And then making everybody be there. That everybody has to be vaccinated or they got to come up in there with negative COVID tests. Because I don't know how they doing this seating. And y'all know how I am. I'm going to have my 2 masks on and my face shield. But it's still in this place with all these people. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate knowing that at least 90% or so, or 50, or more than 50% of the people are in here are vaccinated.
Wow. So this whole thing of like that, what do they call it, state mandated, now vaccinated, is slavery back in effect? Is that what next? All y'all need to report to the concentration camp immediately, if not sooner, and get your shots and get ready for war. And Bobby, what about the rations? You got yours from Walmart?
Well, they got it on Amazon too.
Oh Lord, Amazon they got it. Now it's all what's going to hell.
You know,
So what's in the bag? What's in the damn thing? Well, they got a raft, what, lighters and cigarettes. They got matches that won't burn. What?
you got jokes, don't you?
No, I'm just trying to figure this whole thing out. Like, where do we go from here? They're gonna start mandating these shots. You can't get into buildings. You can't get your food. I mean, this is like what was that movie where they controlled you? You had to go eat at this time of day, sleep this time of day, wake up and do it all over again. And if you weren't plugged into the computer, you didn't exist.
So since this is Contagion playing out like in real life, in Contagion they got a like vaccine and people the life went back to you know as normal as possible after experiencing something like what we just went through. And so, I mean, I don't know. Dr. Fauci says that, the more people we can get vaccinated, the better it'll be for us to kind of fight off, new variants of this um, virus. Apparently, it's not ever going to leave. It's going to be around just like the flu, unfortunately.
But people who've been vaccinated are getting it again. Is that because they need a booster shot?
I was about to say, hence the booster, right? I don't know.
So is this something that's going to be part of our genetics, like HIV is, no matter what?
I think so.
Um, some of us predisposed to these different things, or how does this work? It's scaring the hell out of me, but I guess I got to grow up and figure this whole thing out because some kind of way they keep either they can get rid of it or they got a thing for it or somebody's lying. Which one is it? Nobody knows.
Well, you never know with these folks.
I don't know what to know. I don't know how this whole thing works, but I'm trying to figure out like if I was to take the third shot, you know, then to find out that there's gonna be another ramp of shots. How am I to think that this is working?
I don't know that it's ever going to be any different than like what Sinus said. It's here. It's going to be here like the flu. And every year, people are probably going to do what they have the ability to do now with the flu, and that's take a flu shot. So in a few years, we're going to be talking about taking the COVID shot, just probably around the same time you take the flu shot. Or somebody smart's going to come up with the all-in-one COVID flu.
Okay. Thank you, Roxanne, for settling that. That makes all the sense in the world. COVID shots for everybody. Vaccination for everybody. Like, over, you have one, everybody got one. I
Shout out to the star seeds. They gonna come through.
who's that?
Our little genius babies. Little gifted ones that have been here before. We'll have to talk about that on the show. On
You
the
know,
show of
I
these
seen
little children who have been here before. There's like
I
a
seen that, Sina. I seen that. I know what you're talking about now. How does you know what? Were they born through parents? Were they here through an egg? How did they get here? Because what vessel were they came in? Because did they come through us, or would they come through some alien when they left the eggs here?
I don't know. My son's constantly talking about things that how things were on his planet and things that he was introduced to, on his planet. So I don't know.
Is it in the cartoons or something like that that they get this shit from? Because I hear that.
Dinah, you should just be taking copious notes of everything that he say. One time my son told me when he was about 3 years old that he was a king in Africa and white people came and burned his village. And I believe that to this day. He was like he was 3. We still lived in Brooklyn Park. So he was a little guy and he didn't say a lot, but he said that clear as fucking day.
I truly believe those things happen. And I find myself like more and more like the kids know. The kids know, the kids know. And we listen, I told my parents when I was little, the devil came to my room and tried to take me. And I ain't gonna never forget that. He painted on my wall, he painted on the door. I was in my bed, he lifted me up. I was like, I don't know if it was the devil or not, but it was some kind of something. And I'm like, I was told when I was little, like, if something ever happened to you, pray, get on your knees, whatever the case may be. And I think that, things like that happen to people we don't talk about, but they do happen. I really think that, how are they making this shit up if somebody took them and they can explain how the imaginary can't be that good, especially as a kid. Something got to be real about that. I don't care what nobody say.
We'll have to devote a show to that, and to following and listening to your gut. Yes,
I
we'll have
missed
to
our
do
song
that.
today, Bobby.
Yes.
Yes, I forgot what it was.
I'm so glad we had this time together. But it's 7 o'clock, so what is it, Friday? Right?
The next time we meet, because today's Wednesday.
Oh,
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.